This place looks familiar.
Where, when, why, how? This familiar. Probably no one can identify it, but this is Palisades. Not to be confused with Palisades, Colorado, which has better beaches but no mountains. This is Palisades, California, with no beaches and mountains.
Welcome to Broken Arrow. We are in Palisades, Tahoe. It is Thursday, and we are going to go on a little route finding mission, see how much white stuff there is up on the mountain.
Eli!
You'll get that later. Gonna go see how much snow is up on Shirley Canyon. We've heard there's a little bit, so we want to see just how much. So we're gonna go backwards on the course, do a little course recon, see if anything drastic changed. I'm guessing since we've been here the last 3 years, it probably looks pretty similar, but you never know.
I found a friend. The Eric Puma.
El Puma Loco. Check out those gloves.
Those are my wood throwing gloves.
Those are sweet, Eric. Found it!
Can confirm, is no snow. Excited, yet disappointed. I kind of like the snow. That year was really fun. Not to say this year's not going to be really fun, because we could have golf course winds. Which could mean, if you're under 120 pounds, you could just...
What are we doing?
We were smart this year and decided not to do the VK, because last year, if you watched our video, we said we regretted doing the VK, so we're not doing it. And instead, we are going to commentate on the live stream about the VK and watch everyone suffer. And it's going to be a great time. And we're going to like VKs after this.
Why are you walking so aggressively?
Because we're late. Usually we're not late people, but today we're late people. We're
Slightly.
Technically we're not. We have 2 minutes. I think I can get there in 2 minutes.
Are you ready?
Never.
Here we are. Start of the VK, high winds. Tyler, say hi to Eli. I'm Eli, I mean Tabor. Yeah, they wanted me to film you, so I'm filming you right now. Don't pick your nose. Probably won't be windy at the top at all.
No, it'll be calm.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a lot of talking.
Yeah, it was way longer. We did it! It was not just 2 hours though, but we commentated. It was nice. It was fun to watch the race. Turns out they didn't have a lot of video footage for us to work with, so it was just literally Eli and I bullshitting about stuff for like 2.5 hours. We got some interviews going on, and yeah, now it's almost noon, and so we just got back to our Airbnb. We're gonna make some lunch, and now we're just gonna do some decompress time because we do have to race 46K tomorrow. So yeah, we're just gonna relax and hang out, do some more hanging.
It's time to do nothing. We don't do that very often, so we're gonna enjoy it while we do it. to nothing. How you feeling for the race?
Indecisive.
Decisive about what?
I don't know, I think you always just feel indecisive. Like, I don't think it's a question of like whether or not we did enough training or the right training. I think it's more just like how it'll feel. Like, how will it come together tomorrow? I think there's always like a lot of question marks when you do an ultra length distance, that, you know, there's bound to be some good parts and some rough parts, but just kind of where they hit. So, I don't know. I'm like excited because it's just like a long day out, but also just nervous because I don't know, you just never know how you're gonna feel. Like, you hope to feel good, you tell yourself you're gonna feel good, but yeah, you might not feel good, and that's okay too. But my haglins don't always feel good, so hence is why I'm freezing them out. Or, as I've been told to do, contrast therapy helps with inflammation, and I need to do some deep breathing to reduce stress. How about you? How are you feeling? What do you think the race is gonna go?
Me? Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be a very fun race. I think, I don't know how I feel about the 2-lap option, because
Not a big lap guy.
not a big lap guy. I don't know if you've heard, but Eli doesn't like laps. So I feel like the first lap will be great, and then that stretch from like, 20 to 23K, when I'm coming into the finish line and realizing I have to do the whole thing over again, might be a kick in the pants. That's all I'm worried about. After that, I think as soon as I go back out and like accept my fate, I'll be fine. But I think I'm gonna have a hard time accepting my fate.
Do you have any goals for tomorrow?
Win.
I thought that was like number 3.
No,
I
the
was
W.
Like, what?
That was the W.
That's a good goal. Okay.
What are your goals?
Well, I always have to outdo Eli, so it's really hard to outdo number 1. So if I could tie with Eli, that'd be sick.
Number 1 but better is what your goal
but
is.
mine would be a better win.
Okay.
I'm videoing you right now, so say something.
I don't know if I have anything profound to say, except for
Shooter's hot.
Shooter is a very good looking man.
That's all I needed.
That's why you married his daughter.
Yep, that's why I married the one person that looks just like
Hey, have fun.
Okay.
I know.
You put in the work, and just enjoy it. But know that you have unfinished business with your boyfriend David.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Love you.
All right. Meta. Stop video.
Who's ready for some racing?
Oh.
Okay. So we're going to do a little recap of Broken Arrow 46K.
Yeah.
We are back home now. Yes, it is like a week and a half later, but I'm not an influencer. I'm a runner, so sue me.
We did everything else in real time, so I don't feel like it's that bad. We're just recapping post.
Yes.
That's what a recap is. It's post.
Yes, it's post, so it's just a little bit more post than it usually is.
Yeah.
So, had a lot of highs and a lot of lows in this.
Yeah. Let's
in
talk
Broken
about
Arrow.
the high. Let's start off on your race.
Start off on the high?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
let them down easy.
All right. Well, yeah, my race, I'd say is kind of about as good as it could have gone. The loops weren't as bad as I expected them to be. It was more so just kind of a fun tactical race. The field itself was so deep, so it was super fun actually getting to race with all those guys.
Yeah, I think the Boulder boys were saying in their pre-race that 24 men deep is who they recognize. And that's pretty deep.
No, it was probably like the deepest 50-ish K race that we've had on US soil. So I'm pretty stoked to come away with the win on that one. Obviously, I always want to win a race, but it's fun when it's at home. And Broken Arrow always kind of seems like the home race for us. It's where we always go back to. It's one of our favorite races. And it was the first time racing the 46K. So actually 2 loops. The start felt so slow compared to starting the 23K. There's nothing quite like starting that 23K that you just feel like you're sprinting the entire time, especially when you're trying to chase Patrick Kipniego. I don't suggest anyone do that one. That's a bad idea. But yeah, it kind of just pretty much we ran as a big pack till the first climb, where Ryan Becker and David Sinclair and I kind of made our little gap. We just ran together that whole first loop. That on the downhill, me and David kind of had a little unspoken agreement that Ryan was running a little bit too well and too peppy up those hills. And we knew that we were a little bit stronger on the downhill, so we pushed that downhill, kind of made him hurt a little bit, trying to make him squirm a little bit, and then kind of made him have to work hard to catch back up. And he did catch back up, but it was by the time that we got all the way to the start of the next climb on the second loop. So we had made him work pretty hard to get up there. He caught us, and instead of just sitting in, he was like, all right, screw you guys, I'm already running faster. So went right past us, and that's kind of when all hell broke loose.
That's when the race really got with it.
Yes, so a loop and a half in on the start of the big climb, pretty much that whole second half is a big climb. So we pretty much just started throwing punches at each other, seeing who had it on the day. Luckily, I made a little bit of a gap towards the top of the climb. I think
before the ladder?
Yes, so at the ladder, I had about a minute 20 coming from Chris Myers sent me a video, luckily. And he was standing very nicely, as a friend does, at the top, saying, hey, you have a minute 20, but you're going to blow it.
Strong work.
All right, swing those arms now. You got a minute 20 on them.
Go get it.
And you're going to blow that lead.
I was just full gas, everything I had to the end. I think it was a surprise to me how fast that we ran the whole course. But when
you got 11-minute course record, right?
Yeah, so we ran 11 minutes faster than David Sinclair ran last year. I think, so going through the first lap, we expected to be right around 2 hours. I thought, yeah, that was like we were running honestly, but we didn't think that it was too fast. We were still making jokes at each other, whatnot, kind of talking shit, as one does. And we kind of thought, oh yeah, well, I'd probably go through around 2 hours, but my watch has a 30-minute timer, and it beeps every 30 minutes because Dum Dum forgets to eat otherwise. So by my 2-hour timer, I'd already gone through the aid station, got my stuff, gone it back into the trees, and was running along. And then I heard the 2-minute timer, and I was nervous, to say the least, about that, because I was like, the way to lose Broken Arrow 46K is going too fast on the first lap.
But hey,
held out.
I think that just shows where fitness is at, honestly. And like, did a good lead up. I think this is the most healthy block that you've ever done so far that we've been in trail running.
Yeah, did not have a single day during this block, this build up, that Muffins wants to say hi.
Muffins always
didn't have a single day that I had to stop running for some kind of niggle, some kind of sickness. So it was just a very consistent block. Okay, so what happened? Let's talk about the downs, because
so you brought home the high of the weekend. That was super cool to see you. I got to see you at the finish, which I know wasn't planned, but
we did want you having a better first place. So you did want to be at the finish line before me.
I did, but maybe not actually before you. So yeah, Nice. So yeah, if you don't know already, I DNF'd at Broken Arrow, and that obviously was not the plan. I don't think a DNF is anyone's plan, but yeah, I think this would be a lot easier to digest maybe if it was like an injury or something like that, and it was like, oh, this was hurting beforehand, or I was babying something, but I kind of felt a little off all week. And I told Eli that, but at the same time, like, we did do a pretty strong taper into this race, and you never feel great on that taper. Like, you didn't feel great. No. Like, we were in it together. And the day before, I just felt super off, but you just are like, get a good night's sleep or as best you can before a race. And then I started off on the race, and I just had the most dead legs and heavy arms of all time. And I was like, okay, just like, it's still a long race. Like, you never know what you can do with that day. So I just kept like, running it out, and pretty soon a run became a hike became a walk. And my body just said no, and I also don't think I was in the mental headspace to also suffer through that day. I think it's really good some days if, you're not injured and you're okay to like suffer through for a finish. I think that teaches you a lot. It just wasn't one of those days for me. And I think I got some really good advice that ever since, like, we got some news about my dad that has been a lot of stress, and we had other races. We had Broken Arrow coming up and a lot of other life things through this last 2 months, and I just kind of like powered through, put my head down, like didn't think about it, right? Mm-hmm. And like training a lot, working a lot, picking up a lot of baggage on the side of things. And I think the taper, we had like traveled, and it's the first time that I think I just let everything like decompress and relax. And I think my body's like, oh, we like this, we needed this. And I think it just let everything out. And unfortunately, that was a race day. Yeah. And that sucks. But, it was hard to do it. Especially watching how the race unfolded. Those women, like Jen, Helen, Danny, they had incredible races, and it would have been really fun to mix it up there. But that just wasn't in the cards. And I don't think I have to go back to the drawing board. I think I just got to learn a little bit how to manage stress.
Dealing with emotions.
Yeah, dealing with emotions.
Taper's great at dealing with emotions.
It's not my strong.
We're not going to talk about it here, but she's going to deal with emotions with hubby. She doesn't have to talk about it out loud. She just has to talk about it with me.
I'm not a big, emotion person. And yeah, I think that just showed. So a terrible day, not the day I wanted, not the day I worked really hard to go to Broken Arrow for, but. And
you said it's easier, or it'd be more easier to grasp with if it was an injury, but I think this is best case scenario of we figured out this is a lot of emotional stress. Let's figure out how to deal with that now. Yeah. It's not an injury, so we're very happy with that. We're going forward to bigger races, more important races in our season. Yep. And so I think we're in a good spot still, and unfortunate that it happened. We
decided we need to get on the same page. I had a good day at Canyons. You DNF'd. You had an incredible day at Broken Arrow. I DNF'd.
Yeah, we're figuring out this whole thing of we're both going to have a good day at UTMB week. Both of us.
Yep. Fingers crossed on that one. We need to start like carrying around sage and finding some 4-leaf clovers.
And I think up next, Shooter's giving his recap of his race. Enjoy.
I think that's the best part of the week.
I'm glamming on Eli's fame here.
Dad, did you drink this?
No.
It was in your back seat.
Okay, I'm going with Eli in his suitcase to be his boy.
How was your ascent? You didn't tell me about your race.
The race was good. I got attacked by a pika at the top of the trail. But other than that, I just have a few ankle lacerations and some chafing in the sphincter region. But,
Perfect.
You look like you have 2 days.